Hi there, my name is Kelly Brown, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to teach your dog to use the mum or the dad button. When your dog has learnt how to use the mum or the dad button, they'll push the button when they want your attention, like pats or cuddles. Let's take a look at Winnie, the golden retriever, asking for my attention so that you know what it looks like.
Yes, hi, how are you? Beautiful girl, aren't you? You want some pats? You're very clever. Yes, you are. You're very clever. Good girl.
Now, before we go any further, you'll need to make sure that you've taught your dog how to push a button. So if you haven't already done that, pause this video, head back over to check out the video on how to teach your dog to push a button, and then you can come back and join us when you're ready. To teach your dog to ask for attention by pushing either the mum or the dad button, you'll need three things. 1, you'll need your dog. 2, you'll need the mum or the dad button. And 3, you'll need your dog's favorite food rewards broken into small fingernail-sized pieces so that you're all ready to go. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to teach the mum button. But the same process will apply if you're teaching your dog the dad button. So all you need to do is just switch out the buttons. There are 2 steps to teaching your dog to use the mum or the dad button. Step 1 is to teach your dog to use the mum button after you give the verbal cue or after you say mum. So let's take a look at how to do that, and I'll break it down for you. Mum, give your verbal cue, mum. Point to the button. Mum. And then when your dog pushes the button, mum.
Yes, good girl.
Then you mark it with yes, and then you reward with pats and with attention. And then when you need to get your dog up, just give your release cue, okay, and toss the treat. Step 2 is to teach your dog that when they push the mum or the dad button, they're rewarded with attention and affection from the relevant person. You'll ask them to push the mum button with your verbal cue for attention and affection first. And once you repeat that a few times, your dog will learn to push the button themselves without you cueing it and without them being asked by you. So here's how to do that. This time we're not using a verbal cue, we're just using the finger point towards the button. When she successfully pushes the button, we're going to mark with our marker word yes and reward with pats, then release her with okay and toss the treat. This time we're going to use a smaller hand signal, so just a very small finger point towards the button. That's enough for Winnie to be able to move towards the button, press the button, we're going to mark it with yes, and then we're going to reward with pats and attention. Now we need to also generalize this behavior, so I'm going to put my body into different positions. I'm going to sit down this time and wait and see if she'll push the button on her own. And if she doesn't respond within about 3 seconds, then I'm going to help her by just pointing at the button.
Yes.
When she pushes the button, I'm going to mark it with yes and reward with pats and attention, and then I'm going to release her.
Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Okay.
I'd like Winnie to push the button on her own without me saying mum and without me pointing at the button. So I'm going to see if she does that this time. And she does. While I'm ignoring her, she successfully walks up to the button, pushes it, I mark it with yes, and then I reward with attention. So that's how to teach your dog to say mum or dad for attention or affection. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure that you check back for more.